Imagine becoming King of Great Britain at 54 years old, without speaking much English, and without really wanting the job. This was George I of Great Britain. When Queen Anne died in 1714, Britain faced a succession crisis. Dozens of Catholics actually had stronger claims to the throne, but Parliament had passed the Act of Settlement, which barred Catholics from inheriting. So the crown skipped over 57 closer relatives and landed on a German prince from Hanover. George was the nearest Protestant they could find. The British were not thrilled, and to be honest, George was not thrilled with Britain either. He spent much of his reign longing for Hanover and frequently returned there whenever he could. But the real scandal lay in his personal life. Years before becoming king, George had divorced his wife, Sophia Dorothea of Celle. Her alleged lover mysteriously disappeared and was widely believed to have been murdered. Sophia Dorothea spent the remaining 32 years of her life imprisoned in Ahlden Castle. She never saw freedom again. When George came to Britain, he did not bring his wife. He brought his mistress, Melusine von der Schulenburg, who became one of the most influential women at court. Yet despite the scandals, George proved to be a capable ruler. He supported the arts, patronized George Friedrich Handel, helped establish the Royal Academy of Music, and strengthened the new Hanoverian dynasty. Then he changed British history, almost by accident. George disliked long political discussions and gradually stopped attending cabinet meetings. As ministers began managing affairs themselves, one man emerged as the dominant figure, Robert Walpole. The modern office of Prime Minister was born, not because George planned it, but because he found cabinet meetings boring. In 1727, George died while traveling back to Hanover. Even in death, he chose Germany over Britain. He was buried there, becoming the most recent British monarch to be buried outside the United Kingdom. The king who barely spoke English, the husband who imprisoned his wife, the monarch who accidentally invented the prime minister, and the foreign prince who founded a dynasty that still sits on the British throne today.